This is Hawthorne and Mary Star as now we get into the round for the championship, the Final Four. Hawthorne Cougars against Hawthorne Flip. They are the home team in the field first. Sarah Acevedo on the ground with a 2-0 count. And now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And welcome back. Marks, we greet you from Euclid. We approach afternoon time. Swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both of these teams are undefeated in the tournament. Mary Star from San Diego, California, on the host team. Here today. 2-2 on the infield. First baseman should have it. Drops the ball. Everybody's safe. It's a big error. Ace. Up. Carolyn Brown had it come up, so an inauspicious start for the Hawthorne in the top of this first inning. And if that a player that you don't want to put on, Lindsay has speed. The top of this Mary Star order can be lethal. Melissa Matera is the next batter. Away from the catcher, and she's going to be on down into second. Ball getting away on the infield for a moment.
Good time.
And we have Chanel Kidd behind the plate this afternoon. Get things set up for you defensively. Is behind the plate for Hawthorne. At first base this afternoon, Carolyn Brown. At second base, will be Gabby Barajas. Shortstop Sonia Carrillo. At third base this afternoon, we'll get that checked out for you in a second, as we don't have the full Hawthorne defense, but we will get that cleared away as we go on. They bunt. They'll have to make the play to first, and it's a good one, 3-4. Actually 1-3 on the put out. So it'll be a sacrifice. The runner will move up. It's 1 away. Lindsay D'Ambrosio in scoring position for Leslie Higgins. Leslie Higgins, the starting center fielder. And we'll have to see if that error at first base comes around to haunt the Hawthorne Cougars. Infield will be in. At first and third, outfield is coming in as they'll face Leslie Higgins. And it's fouled off. No balls and 1 strike. Hawthorne Cougars, since last week, winning 2 games in the tournament, had a game to play this week that they won. And Mary Star went 1 for 1 during the week. That's a line drive into the glove at short, and they race it back to the bag, but not in time. The shortstop, Sonia Carrillo, makes a fine catch on the line drive, and that'll be 2 big outs. Not able to get D'Ambrosio back on the bag. D'Ambrosio beat her back to the bag. And with 2 away, this brings up Francesca D'Amato. She watches call strike 1. Plate umpire Rob Fusco calling the balls and strikes. And in the field, Jason Howard. Jason Howard working his second. That's 1-1. Nice block by Chanel Kidd behind the plate. Well, I'm looking at Coach QB Vasquez's lineup card, direct, and he has no third baseman listed. As that ball is popped up on the infield, Acevedo calls and makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. So an inauspicious start, but they'll get out of it, and it does not become an unearned run at the end of 1/2 inning. Mary Star 0. Hawthorne coming to bat, back with the bottom in a second. What's this? Well, because Coach QB Vasquez writes 5s that look like 2s, we thought he had 2 catchers instead of a third baseman in there, but Etna Cisneros for Hawthorne is actually going to be the third baseman. As Hawthorne comes up here in the bottom half of the first, no score, and they will lead it off for the top of the order. And the first batter for them, of course, will be the speedy Chanel Kidd, who watches low for ball 1. I have someone from Hawthorne here who I'm going to give the master copy of the lineup to in 1 second. She just asked me, was I announcing? No, I'm drilling teeth. Count is no balls and 1 strike, 2 balls and no strikes as it's up high. On the mound this afternoon, Tiffany Gutierrez. Tiffany Gutierrez, starting pitcher. She's 2-0 on the year for Mary Star. And what you don't want to do if you play the Hawthorne Cougars is give Chanel Kidd a free pass, and she's in danger of doing that right here. 3 balls and no strikes. One of the fastest players in the South Bay, and that'll be in there for the strike. 3-1. Get the defense set up for you in a second for Mary Star. As this ball game, we rush to get it on the air for you. So a couple of things we weren't able to get set. 3-1, and she'll look at strike 2 in a good location. On the infield, Megan Gelamo at first, Francesca D'Amato at second, Andrea Calise at short, Lindsay D'Ambrosio at third. The outfield left to right, Melissa Matera in left, Leslie Higgins center, Danielle Whitney in right, behind the plate, Ali Orsini, and the 3-2 pitch is swung on and hit to the opposite field, and it is going to be dropped and in and out of the glove of Melissa Matera, and it'll be a base hit. So Chanel Kidd going the opposite way. Ball could have been caught, but not an easy catch, so you'd have to give her a base hit, and Chanel Kidd is on the bottom of the first for the Hawthorne Cougars. And she'll face Sonia Carrillo, will face Tiffany Gutierrez. Chanel Kidd inning first, Sonia Carrillo second, Sarah Acevedo third, Etna Cisneros fourth, Gabby Barajas fifth, Estella Diaz sixth, LaQuisha Moore seventh, Carolyn Brown eighth. As is around the bunt, here's a throw to second, it's a good throw, and they got her. And that is something you don't see very often. Chanel Kidd gunned down at second base, and that was a strong throw by Ali Orsini. They had that throw on the money. It beat her to the bag, and they made the tag. Second baseman D'Amato comes down with the tag, so it goes 2-4. Hawthorne Cougars lose a base runner. So the out call made at second base by the umpire in the field, Jason Howard. And one away with Sonia Carrillo at the plate. I believe when that happened, we were giving you the lineup in case we rushed it too far. Bottom half of the Cougar lineup, 7, 8, and 9, LaQuisha Moore, Carolyn Brown, and Jamie Zalata, 7, 8, and 9 in the Cougar order. We're in the bottom of the first, no score. Winner here advances to the championship round. Loser goes to the consolation round to play for third place. And here's Gutierrez's pitch. It's in there for a call strike. So we now have a 2-2 count to the batter, Sonia Carrillo. And that's a ground ball to short, one hop, good play. And it goes 6-3. So shortstop Andrea Calise handling the good hop. And with 2 away, Sarah Acevedo will be the batter. When you see the way they handled Chanel Kidd there with the throw, you kind of get the feeling that these two teams have done their homework as far as scouting is concerned. And with that in mind, they have to know who they're facing at the plate is one of the most dangerous hitters, probably the most dangerous hitter that Hawthorne has in the lineup. And with 2 outs and nobody on base, it'll be interesting to see how Tiffany Gutierrez will pitch to her. So far, Tiffany Gutierrez with some zip, but with some control, it appears, which is something we have not seen too much in the ball games that we've done. That's outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. We've seen pitchers with zip and no control. You get somebody with some zip that can get it over the plate and has a good changeup, you're looking at a tough afternoon or early morning, which we are still in. And that's a line drive off the glove of the diving shortstop, Andrea Calise, and it'll be a base hit for Sarah Acevedo. So she continues her hot hitting, Sarah Ace Acevedo, they call her. And she's got a 2-out base hit. So how big is that caught stealing right now? Etna Cisneros will be the batter. And she is, in fact, the third baseman and not the catcher. We were mentioning we got the official lineup from head coach QB Vasquez. One of his assistants came over and told me in between innings, QB writes 5s that look like 2. So that would explain it. And that's up high. 2 balls and no strikes to Etna Cisneros. Been playing a fine third base First delivery, that's a line drive on into left field for a base hit. So the Hawthorne Cougars doing things with 2 outs. 3 hits in the inning, but yet to score a run. 2 away for Gabby Barajas, hitting 5th in the order, playing left field. It's a tournament involving many teams over 3 fields, 2 weekends. First weekend was rained out, so they've had to get it in on 2 Saturdays. It was going to be a Saturday-Sunday tournament originally 2 weeks ago, but Mother Nature changed that. First delivery in there for a call strike from Gutierrez to the batter, Gabby Barajas. And it's low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on first and second. Sarah Acevedo at second, Etna Cisneros at first. They both had base hits with 2 outs. And looking for a big 2-out base hit from Gabby Barajas. They play her shallow in the outfield, so Sarah Acevedo would have to be off and really running to try to score. Popped on the infield. Now the base runner and the fielder collide, and that'll be interference. The batter will be out. Actually, the batter will get credit for a hit, but the base runner will be called out. So that'll retire the side. They leave 2 and they don't score at the end of 1. No score. Well, you're seeing 2 good teams play. Try to get to the championship round of the Hawthorne Mayor's Invitational. Hawthorne has not lost this year. They're 4-0. Mary Star is 5-1. They won their first 4 ball games before they lost to, actually they won their first 5 before losing to Whitney. And this is Danielle Whitney, who swings and misses at Sarah Acevedo's first offering.
Down the middle?
They had beaten Banning last week, did Mary Star, 5-1, and then they lost to Whitney, close one, 5-4 for their first loss on the year. And it's a swing and a miss. She swings through it. Ball in a good location by Sarah Acevedo. So Sarah Acevedo is obviously not lost on the year. She's won all of the Hawthorne games. Had 2 strikes. That bounces in the dirt and hits her. So not what you want to do on 2 strikes. So 2 bad start-offs to innings for Hawthorne. First an error and the leadoff batter in the top of the first, and now hit 2 strikes. You hit a batter on a pitch in the dirt. So nobody out for Anna Park, left-handed designated hitter. They play her up at first. As that's fouled down the line with a runner off. Looked like a little delay, kind of delayed takeoff that time at first base by the base runner, Daniela Whitney. Play Anna Park deep and right. And it's 0-2 on the foul ball. Megan Gelamo would be the next batter for Mary Star. Mary Star from San Pedro, coached by Jesse Espinoza. They have won their league last few years, 4 years in a row. And misses low. Seems like when pitchers miss, they miss with that low pitch. The low pitch seems to be the wild one, and that's one that's tough for the catchers to handle. At first inning, Chanel Kidd had to make a couple of good blocks. But Sarah Acevedo has had good control. They had to retire 4 batters in the first inning.
I thought that what you were.
And may have to do more than that here. As she hit the first batter, but she's ahead here on strikes. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Up at first and third, deep and around to right. Play Anna Park to pull. Runner doesn't go, and it misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, earlier today, you saw Lusinger defeat Fremont 8-5. Lusinger is now going to play Redondo. Redondo defeated Crenshaw 5-4. So that'll be our next ball game. That's low. So the count's now full at 3-2, and now if you are Mary Star, you put something on here. You send the base runner. Nobody out. Base runner's going. Swung on and missed. Here's the throw down to second. They may get her. It's on the wrong side of the bag, and she's safe. So the throw to the shortstop side of the bag, and the base runner, Danielle Whitney, gets in there. Not a bad throw by Chanel Kidd, but just to the wrong side of the bag there. And Anna Park is a strikeout victim. First for Sarah Acevedo. So risky for Mary Starr. They risk strike him out, throw him out, but instead they get the runner in scoring position from Megan Gelamo. Megan Gelamo playing first base. Last week, in Mary Starr's wins in this tournament, at bottom of the order did some considerable damage. They beat Beverly Hills in a close ball game. And then they blew out Fremont, putting the 10-run mercy rule into effect. They've been playing good softball. That's a line drive through the middle. It'll be in there for the base hit. Runner rounding third. She's going to hold as LaQuisha Moore gets the ball back in a hurry. And it's a solid base hit right back through the middle, their first hit of the ball game. But because it was hit so hard and LaQuisha Moore did a good job fielding that in center field, she came up cleanly. They had to hold the runner at third. So it's going to be Daniel Whitney on at third, Megan Gelamo at first. One out for Ali Ursini. Right now, Ali Ursini has made the play of the game when she threw the peg to second to gun down Chanel Kidd. If it's not for that, Hawthorne has a run in the first inning. She has a chance to get her team on the board. That one gets away. The runner at first is going to move up. That's going to be a wild pitch as Gelamo will move up. It'll be second and third. So now, Mary Starr with one out can score without the benefit of a base hit. Hawthorne has an open base and the number 9 batter coming up. So both teams have to be aware of what's going on out there right now, and you have to know what you want to do with the ball if it's hit your way. That one is in the left field, may not be deep enough. Catch is going to be made. Here comes the runner, and it's a lollipop throw, and she's going to score. So a weak throw, a runner scores. It's up the line. A good throw would have had her by a mile, but the throw from Estella Diaz, not strong. It'll be a sacrifice fly and a run batted in, and it's 1-0 in favor of Mary Starr. Trail runner moves up. Danielle Whitney comes in to score. And the 9th batter, Andrea Calise, at the plate. Swing and a miss. Big healthy cut by Andrea Calise. So score that a sacrifice fly and an RBI. And again, the runner scoring. Runner got on base after having 2 strikes, being hit by a pitch on a ball that bounced in the dirt. That one is hit to the right side, left side of the second baseman, actually Gabby Barajas, and she makes a good play going to her left to retire the side. But Mary Starr cracks the scoreboard. They get a run on a hit batsman and one left in the middle of the second. Mary Starr 1, Hawthorne 0. Back with the bottom in a moment. Well, if you're thinking about the time factor, as games in this tournament do have time factors, this one does have a time consideration, but a little longer as we go to the bottom of the second. Hawthorne trailing 1-0. Most of the games have been, there's been an hour 20-minute time limit. This one is going to be an hour and 40 minutes. So as the games become a little more important, as we are in the Final Four bracket, give them a little more time. And it's 1-1. Estella Diaz is the batter, facing Tiffany Gutierrez, who now has a 1-0 lead. Estella Diaz making the catch in short left field, but not making a strong throw on the runner coming into the plate. And that's how they got their first run. That's grounded to short. Calise makes the throw, and there's one away. That's the third chance in this ball game for Andrea Calise, and we're only in the second inning. She made a nice dive, had a ball go off her glove for one of the base hits. So this brings up LaQuisha Moore, hitting 7th in the order. It's in center field today. Made a nice play in center field on a ball that was hard hit ball, holding a runner at third. And she watches ball 1 outside. She has some speed, as LaQuisha Moore. Had a tough day at the plate last week. Bat was a little slow. And you know she wants a little redemption this week. That's in there, 1 ball, and make that 2 balls and no strikes as we follow the plate umpire. It's going to get sunny this afternoon and warm. We are still actually in the morning, if you can believe it. About another half hour of AM time to go. And it's 3-0. So a speedy base runner would be LaQuisha Moore if she can get on. And at 3-0, you got to figure she's taking right here. Would make Tiffany Gutierrez throw her one. Takes all the way, and it's called strike, 3-1. Carolyn Brown, hitting 8th in the order, would be on deck. 3 balls, 1 strikes to LaQuisha. And she'll take the base. So good speed on at first. LaQuisha Moore gets the first free pass given up on the afternoon by Mary Starr. Tiffany Gutierrez, and now Carolyn Brown is the batter. Carolyn Brown stepped out to look at her coach, QB Vasquez, down at third. 1-run ball game. Going to play up at first and third on Carolyn Brown. Moore takes a short lead, won't go. And it's ball 1. The batter steps out again, Carolyn Brown. To look down at third, we see Tiffany Gutierrez. Runner doesn't go, it's foul tipped. LaQuisha Moore, the runner at first base, taking a
Strikes.
leaning back in foul territory on her lead. Not an aggressive lead. Got her left foot on the outside of the bag. It's 1-1 on the batter. Runner doesn't go. Now they're going to throw behind her, but she'll get in to steal the base. So they threw behind her as Carolyn Brown goes down swinging. She's a strikeout victim, but LaQuisha Moore gets a stolen base. So sort of a delay there. And they throw Ali Orsini. We saw her throw out Chanel Kidd in the first inning, but this time LaQuisha Moore able to get in scoring position, and she'll be there for Jamie Zalata, hitting 9th in the order with 2 outs. Hawthorne looking for a 2-out base hit. That's on the infield, in play, and a catch is made by the third baseman, Lindsay D'Ambrosio, in foul territory right in front of the Hawthorne dugout, and that'll retire him. At the end of 2, Mary Starr Stars 1, Hawthorne Cougars nothing. Back with the third in a moment. Well, we're into the final 4 round. Winner of this ball game will play the winner of Notre Dame and North Torrance, who played at this field. The loser will move on to another field to play the loser of that ball game for third place. Lindsay D'Ambrosio up here. She's a threat to bunt at the top of the order in the top of the 3rd inning. Mary Starr with a 1-0 lead. They've had their leadoff runner on the first 2 innings. Infield moves up, outfield moves up. And Acevedo's first pitch is bunted. Looked like it hit her
In the box.
outside of the batter's box. Do they say it hit her in the box or out? But I think they say she was still in the box, so she's still alive at the plate. And they've got left fielder Estella Diaz is almost behind shortstop. They have an interesting defensive setup. Tries to run up and smack that one. It's fouled off. Lindsay D'Ambrosio, it's good on base percentage. Top of the order, really tries to make things happen. D'Ambrosio, Matera, and Leslie Higgins. And if you can keep them off the base, you're doing fairly well. 0-2 pitch. That's a good one. They'll have to make the good throw. And the stretch, she's out. Etna Cisneros stayed with it, and a good stretch at first base by Carolyn Brown. It's really that stretch that gets her. And a good play all around. So one away, the speedy Lindsay D'Ambrosio is taken off the base paths or kept off the base paths, and then brings up Melissa Matera. She's up one time, and she had a sacrifice. And she's another one of those dangers. Hits it right through the hole. Left fielder comes up to make the play at short, but they'll not be able to get her as she hit it right between the drawn-in infielders at third and short. It's a base hit. And you can't place it any better than that. So now the defensive strategy will change. The infield and outfield will drop back to their normal position to a Leslie Higgins. Got speed on at first and a good batter at the plate. Leslie Higgins lined to short her first time up on a good play. That one's hit to third. Nice play. They go to second on a high throw that's going into the outfield. And a run is going to score, maybe even more. The ball is run down in center field by LaQuisha Moore. Batter is going to head for the plate. They'll throw to the plate, and it's going to be too late. 2 runs will score, and it's 3-0 in favor of Mary Starr. So coming in to score, Leslie Higgins circling the bases. It's obviously not a home run, and she looked like she got hurt as she came into the plate. Looked like she hit something, either hit the plate or something there. So you would score that a fielder's choice and a big E5, allowing the runs to score. But Leslie Higgins, she's up, she'll take it. Her team is now up 3-0 on a ball that could have been a 5-4-3 double play, or at the very least, 1 out main. But instead, 2 runs are in, and you see Coach QB Vasquez. Situation like that, you almost have to go to the mound and calm your team down. And now I think we're going to get some sort of change. We see Chanel Kidd and looks like Etna Cisneros coming off. So we may have some defensive changes made here. So again, if you're scoring, it goes as a fielder's choice and a big E5, allowing both of the runs to score. Etna Cisneros, the one who made the throw, and she is coming off. So we may have some defensive changes here. It was a good stop on the play. She made a very good stop on it. Had a lot of time. You could do one of 2 things. You could try to get the lead runner, which she tried to do, or you could get the shore out at first base. But she had all the time in the world to do either. The throw was bad into the outfield, and that's all she wrote. So double substitution. Etna Cisneros is going to come behind the plate. And we will have someone else for Hawthorne to play third base. We'll get that checked out for you in a second. Get the new third baseman checked out for you. But for Hawthorne right now, they find themselves down 3-0 in their tournament that they are hosting. And a tournament that they did not think they were going to be automatic winners in, but a tournament that they felt they had a good chance to win. Right now they're down 3-0 to a very good team and a good pitcher. And with 1 out, bases cleared for Francesca D'Amato. Francesca was up 1 time, popped to the pitcher. And it's in there for a call strike. That one is grounded back to the box. Sarah Acevedo make the easy toss, and there's 2 away. So 2 outs. Danielle Whitney will be the batter. Danielle Whitney was up 1 time, was hit by a pitch after being down 2 strikes, and that hit batsman hurt because she did come around to score. So you don't know, you can't assume that she would have been out or whatever, but of course being hit by the pitch when you're down 2 strikes, it's a plus, and coming around the bases to score that first run. That's popped and going to make it out of play over the third base dugout and on top of the Channel 22 van. It is on resting right on top of our Channel 22 van. How about that? No balls and 2 strikes for Danielle Whitney. And she stays alive, 1-2. Acevedo trying to retire the side. That's a slow roller, and the throw is made in time. So a situation where third baseman made an excellent throw on one play and a bad throw on another, and the bad throw has the Hawthorne Cougars in a 3-hole. Middle of the third, it is Mary Star 3, Hawthorne nothing. Back with the bottom in a moment. Bottom of the third we go, 3-0 in favor of Mary Star. The substitute for Hawthorne that came in the last half inning, Martha Molina, came in to play third base, relieving Etna Cisneros, and now she will lead off. Came in Chanel Kidd spot in the order, so that some speed and a good bat out of the lineup right now for Hawthorne. And Martha Molina at the plate. She's a newcomer to the team this year. Right-hand batter. And they're trying to get her on base here against Tiffany Gutierrez, trailing 3-0. And that misses. So she is way ahead, 3 balls and no strikes. Martha Molina, Sonia Carrillo, and Sarah Acevedo here in the bottom of the third. Tiffany Gutierrez has only walked one. She struck out one. And that's 4 straight out of the strike zone against Martha Molina. Well, the Hawthorne Cougars trailing by 3 get their leadoff batter on. And this brings up Sonia Carrillo. She's up one time and grounded to short. So far, a couple of big plays in this game. Ali Ursini gunning out Chanel Kidd in the first inning. And then, of course, the bad throw by Etna Cisneros at third. 2 runs to score when the ball was thrown into the outfield. That perhaps an even bigger play. And it's way high. 2 balls and no strikes. Hawthorne base runners, all of them will, whether they're going to steal or not, as we'll have a little conference at the mound here by Mary Starr, because they notice that Hawthorne base runners will take that lead. They'll dance off the base after almost every pitch, which makes Ali Ursini, the catcher, have to come up. QB Vasquez talking to his pupil, Sonia Carrillo at short. A good crowd here today, as you can see in the background. And that'll find the plate. After throwing 6 out of the strike zone, Tiffany Gutierrez gets one at the knees. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. We'll see if something is on with 2 and 1. And it's in the same location. Call strike 2, 2 and 2. Well, what impresses you so far by Tiffany Gutierrez, unlike just about any other pitcher we've seen in this tournament, she's not trying to overpower people. That's why she's effective. 2-2. That misses. So now you got a full count and nobody out. What do you do? Martha Molina, the runner at first. She's with the 0. Sonia Carrillo talking to QB Vasquez in the background. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Playing on a 1 hour, 40 minutes time window. We have not seen any game in the tournament go 7 innings yet. At least none of the games that we've covered. Longest we had was the last one between Losinger and Fremont that went 4.5. So here's the payoff pitch. Runner goes and it's ball 4. So ball 4, 2 straight bases on balls to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning, issued by Tiffany Gutierrez. But she's putting herself in a tough spot because Sarah Acevedo will be the batter. She got out of a jam at the bottom of the 1st. Was able to leave 2 runners on, and of course the caught stealing Chanel Kidd being thrown out was a big play. So 2 runners on, nobody out for Sarah Acevedo. And that's strike 1. He gets the first one over, which is always a key. Outfield is deep. Infield is playing for two. They know that the batter at the plate is the most important. That's in the air to left field. Should be handled. And there's one away as Matera makes the catch. So Sarah Acevedo getting under that one. Would have needed to have lined it a little bit. Went underneath it, and it becomes a put out. One away for Etna Cisneros. She's been up one time, and she had a base hit. That first inning for Hawthorne, they did a lot of hitting with 2 outs, but nobody able to score. And you know right here, Etna Cisneros would like nothing better than to possibly redeem herself for the throw she made that allowed the 2 runs to score. And she's got an opportunity with 2 on, 1 out. They're up at third. Both runners go, and both runners are going to make it. It will be a double steal. So Coach Vasquez puts the wheels in motion. That gets Molina down to third. Sonia Carrillo at second. Now a base hit could possibly bring in 2. Deep and left, in center and right. And the infield is up on the left side. It's way high. Way in at third, about halfway at short. And you'd have to think that Mary Starr is saying, unless you know you can gun the runner at the plate, get the show out at first. Want to avoid making the mistake that Hawthorne made in the top of the inning. You've got an open base. And they do have some action in their bullpen. Tiffany Gutierrez, a little wildness this inning. Not been a smooth one. And a big pitch coming up here. That's in for a strike. Good location. The runners will be off for second and third. 1 out. Tiffany Gutierrez to deliver. And Cisneros lines one towards center field. The catch will be made, but they're not going to score because the base runner did not tag up. A mental error by the third base runner, Molina.
Time.
What was she thinking? Ball is hit. You've got to wait for it to be caught. If she stays on the base and tags, she walks home, but instead, they were not going to score. They'll leave a runner on third. Runner will be in scoring position, and there will be 2 outs. So 2 away, Gabby Barajas will be the batter. She had a hitter first time up. Hawthorne will now need a 2-out base hit to try to get something across the plate, and that's in there for a call strike. Well, in all fairness, it was a line drive. When it left the bat, it looked like it might sink, but less than 2 outs, you got to wait for your coach. And that's hit into left field, going to be out of play. So Tiffany Gutierrez quickly ahead, 2 strikes now on Gabby Barajas. And she had a tough fielding play in left field, on a sacrifice fly, made a throw to the plate that was kind of weak that allowed the first Mary Starr run to score. So she wants to redeem herself here, but she's in a 2-strike hole. That's bounced. Sort of a purpose pitch, you'd have to assume, being ahead at 0-2. Runner at third is Martha Molina. At second, Sonia Carrillo. It's 1-2. Gabby Barajas in the bottom of the third. And it's a little low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stella Diaz is on deck. Well, this will be a 2-2 pitch. Just missed. Mary Starr bench wanted that one. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on second and third. First base obviously open. 2 outs. And a crucial pitch right here. Stays alive. Too little, too close to take. And Gabby Barajas able to get a piece of it. Tiffany Gutierrez appears to have the most poise of any pitcher that we've seen so far. She's taking her time. Just not trying to overpower people. She's had some help in the field. Here's the 3-2, and she lays off ball 4. So for the second out of 3 innings, Hawthorne has a threat. Bases are loaded, but they come with 2 outs, which means that they will need a base hit or an error to break through. And Estella Diaz is the batter. Estella Diaz is 0 for 1. Rounded to short her first time up. That's bounced in the dirt. Nice block made by Ursini. I erroneously said that Gabby Barajas was in left field. She's actually playing second base. It was Estella Diaz in left field who made the throw to the plate, where Danielle Whitney was able to score, but the throw was not strong, and that's how Mary Starr got their first run. So she, in fact, has a chance to redeem herself. That's in for a strike in a good location. 1 ball and 1 strike. Base running blunder in this inning, costing Hawthorne a chance to get on the board. With Martha Molina at third, not tagging up. And that's popped in the air, should end the inning. And it does, just barely. Snow cone there by Andrea Calise. Had to go back and catch that one. Not an easy play to make, but they leave the bases loaded. So through 3, it is a shutout on the books for Mary Starr. They lead Hawthorne by a score of 3-0. Back with the 4th in a moment. This game in the Final 4, semifinals if you will, moving rapidly along. We're in the 4th inning, but not for the better of the Hawthorne Cougars. They find themselves trailing 3-0. Batter 6, 7, and 8 scheduled up for Mary Starr. Mary Starr getting 1 in the 2nd and 2 in the 3rd. And those 2 in the 3rd really hurt. So Anna Park up for a 2nd time. She was a strikeout victim her first time up. 0 for 1. Left-handed designated hitter. Infield plays way up on her. Left fielder right behind shortstop. Center fielder almost behind second base. Right fielder is deep. 1-1 on the foul tip. And Melissa Matera got a base hit through that defense in the 3rd inning, which was a key. 2 balls and 1 strike. New defense, Martha Molina at third. Edna Cisneros behind the plate. Chanel Kidd out of the ball game, and her having to leave the ball game may have cost Hawthorne 1 run the last inning. That's low. Count is 3 balls and 1 strike. 6, 7, and 8 scheduled up. And it's in for a call strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sarah Acevedo has not pitched a bad ball game. She has had some tough breaks. Hit batsman with 2 strikes and a big error. And that's in there for a call, strike 3. So Sarah Acevedo with her 2nd strikeout of the ball game. First caught looking. Anna Park, the strikeout victim. And this brings Megan Gelamo to the dish. Megan Gelamo was up 1 time. She had a base hit. And it's up high for ball 1. Bottom of the order has produced a run for Mary Starr, and top as well. This time they're up on the right side of the infield. It's popped into short right. Gonna be trouble, but Sonia Carrillo able to get there. So Sonia Carrillo in the right position. 2 away. Ali Ursini will be the batter. Ali Ursini has had an interesting game. She threw out Chanel Kidd on the base paths in the 1st inning, which kept Hawthorne off the board, and she had a sacrifice fly to drive in the first Mary Starr run on a ball that was not hit to deep left field, but Estella Diaz not making the strongest of throw, and the run was able to score. That's how the first run came in. So So Ali Orsini figuring in a couple of things this afternoon. And she's going to figure in a pop-up right here to Gabby Barajas for out number 3. So they go in order. And we're in the middle of 4. Mary Star Stars 3, Hawthorne Cougars nothing. Back with the bottom of the 4th in a moment. On to the bottom of the 4th now, 7, 8, and 9. Bottom of the order for the Hawthorne Cougars. Hawthorne has had 3 base hits, had a couple of base runners, but through 3 innings, they've left 6 on. And they're trailing 3-0 with LaQuisha Moore, the batter. She walked her first time up and stole a base. And it's bowled low from Tiffany Gutierrez, 1-0. Tiffany Gutierrez is allowed to 3 hits. She scattered 4 walks, struck out 1. And that is really what you call scattering walks. She's danced out of trouble. Got out of a bases loaded jam in the 3rd, left 2 on in the 1st. Really got trouble in the 1st inning. Left the runner in tying run in scoring position in the 2nd. So it's not being totally easy for her. 2 balls and no strikes. And we're going to have a little conference at the mound. Jesse Espinoza. This is sort of situation. Well, I think we're also going to get a pitching change. So breaking the action. We'll come back with a change. We'll get the new pitcher for you. We're in the 4th inning. It is 3-0 in favor of Mary Star over Hawthorne. Back in a moment. Denise Ruiz is the new pitcher in the ball game, relieving Tiffany Gutierrez. Comes in with a 2-0 count. It's now 3 balls and no strikes to LaQuisha Moore. Hawthorne trailing 3-0, nobody out. She leads it off here. And that'll be a call strike. Well, I'm joined now on microphone by Mrs. Kidd, Chanel Kidd's mom. How you doing this afternoon?
Fine.
And of course, your daughter had to come out of the game, had to make a little defensive change in this ball game.
Yeah, she's not feeling well today.
Oh, what happened? A little under the weather?
Yeah, I've been battling with the flu for about a week now.
Yeah, well,
but she still is determined to come and try to play.
That shows a lot of heart. One of our main producers, Andrea, she's been, she's had a tough condition. We saw her out here earlier today, but I think she's gone home to rest. So a little late spring flu or late winter flu bug going around, I guess. Well, Carolyn Brown is up here. The Hawthorne Cougars now have the leadoff base runner on, trailing 3-0, and we'll see what they'll put in motion. Runner doesn't go. Carolyn Brown 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Well, how long has your daughter been playing softball?
Since she was 8, for about 8 years now, going on 9.
What do you think made her want to take up the game?
I don't know. It was a surprise to me when she first came home with a flyer, actually, to sign up for softball. And it was a shock. I thought it was going to be like, like a temporary thing. You know, kids start something and lose interest, but every year she was right back for us to sign up again.
And she seems very athletic. Seems like she enjoys the competition. It's a 1-1 pitch. That's in the dirt, and it's going to let LaQuisha Moore get down to second. She'll round the bag there, but hold. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And is she very easy to motivate? I mean, you don't have to do much to get her to really want to compete and to play.
No, she's always been real competitive with just about anything.
And she also run track or do anything?
She's going to try track this year. They're trying to work it out where she can do track as well as softball.
And that one caught in foul territory, a big out as Carolyn Brown 0 for 2 on the foul pop caught by first baseman Gelamo. So anytime you can catch one of those foul pops, keep it from going out of play and make the catch, it's a big out. So the runner down in scoring position still. But Jamie Zalata will be up with 1 out. Well, how's the team look to you so far? I know it's early and they're losing right now, 3-0.
I think they're going to come back.
You think they can? They think they've got the bats there to do it?
Yeah.
See, Jamie Zalata going down to talk to Coach QB Vasquez. Now, how big? I know you mentioned this to me before when I spoke to you one time. QB Vasquez really played an important part in your decision to let Chanel come to Hawthorne. Isn't that true?
Yes, he did. I was going to send her to another school, and he convinced me to give Hawthorne a try for a year. and she's been there since.
And he is definitely very involved with his players. He put this tournament together, and he said it took him, I mean, I thought, oh, you just call all the schools and you get it done. He said it took him 7 months to get this tournament together, and that's a lot of phone calls, a lot of meetings, a lot of being involved with parents, raising money, fundraising, and it really seems like he's on top of the kid. He makes sure they go to class, and he takes charge of their grades. Here we've got a situation, 1 out, runner on second. It's a lot of trying to do something about it. Runner goes, and she is, what's the call? Safe. A little delayed call into field by Jason Howard. LaQuisha Moore gets the base. So they waited a second there. You thought she was safe all the way?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. We kind of knew you were going to say that. Were you surprised to see your daughter actually get thrown out in the first inning? Well, you probably thought she was a little safe too, huh?
I did.
Well, they're going to try to get the out at first. They get it there, but they won't get it there. And Hawthorne is on the scoreboard. So they get the out at first. Lindsay D'Ambrosio making a nice play on it. It was a kind of a wicked hop there. She's able to come up with it. And good base running, good coaching down at third by QB Vasquez and LaQuisha Moore. They waited for the throw to get off, and it was a closer play than you thought it was going to be at the plate, but LaQuisha Moore is in, and Hawthorne Cougars do get on the scoreboard. It's 3-1 here in the 4th inning. Well, is there anyone else in the family we're going to be looking at? I think she has a kid brother.
Yeah, he's 8 years behind her. Hopefully he'll follow in her tracks. So far, he's playing basketball now. And so hopefully he'll get into baseball.
And big sister's probably his idol right now.
Yes. He thinks a lot of her.
Well, so far, that's 1 run in here. We're talking with Chanel Kid's mom. And back to the top of the order for Martha Molina, 2 outs. She was up 1 time. She had a walk. She came in for Chanel Kidd, who was playing under the weather. Now, do you think if Hawthorne does come back to win, think Chanel is going to probably try to play the second game?
I think she will. That knowing her, she'll want to.
Which, of course,
she'll give it a try.
Which, of course, they'll have a little, because there will be a game after this, so they'll get a little time to wait, get a little time to rest.
Let her rest up some.
Yeah, it's up high. So when you were younger, did you play any sports when you were younger?
No, I didn't. No sports at all.
As, back during that time, women's basketball, they used to make women wear skirts when they played basketball. Back during the day, they called it. Now it's really a new day, which I think is a good thing for young ladies, that they're encouraged to get out and play athletics and have a good time.
Yeah.
And you have a professional WNBA league now for young ladies to aspire to. Some good role models there, too. That's hit the third. Tough play. Nice backhand. And she gets her for the out as she slides in. Well, I'd like to thank Mrs. Kidd for being with us here in this inning, and good luck to your daughter.
Okay, thank you.
Hawthorne does get a run on the board, and at the end of 4, it is Mary Star 3, Hawthorne 1. Back with the 5th in a moment. Well, we're going now to the 5th inning. It's a 3-1 ball game. Denise Ruiz coming in for Mary Star in that last inning and doing a good job. She walked, she inherited a 2-0 count and walked LaQuisha Moore. LaQuisha Moore did come around to score, but it took some good base running to bring her around. This ball is hitting the air to right field, and it's going to drop in for the base hit. So we have a new batter in the ball game. Andrea Calise was the scheduled batter, but that was not Andrea Calise who got that hit. And coming in to run, we'll have the bat. Yes, it was Andrea Calise, excuse me. Looking at the wrong column again. How about that? So Andrea Calise does get the base hit. Looking at the position instead of the number. 3-1 ball game. Hawthorne scoring a run in that bottom of the 4th inning without the benefit of a base hit. If their hits have been few and far between today, they got it on a run, 2 stolen bases. And we've seen some good play made at third in this ball game by Lindsay D'Ambrosio, who is leading it off. Leads off batting first, second in the order here. She's been up twice, And been a tough out both times. Tries to bunt. She reached on an error, popped up first time up, ball that should have been caught at first base and was dropped. Didn't score, and then grounded third. And they play her way in at third with Sarah Acevedo on the mound. Runner at first, she's gonna try to bunt, it's 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes. Will Jessie Espinosa, Mary Star coach, keep that bunt on with 2 strikes? 0-2, runner at first. And it's gonna bounce in front of the plate, and the base runner will move up. That'll be a wild pitch. Again, it seems like when a lot of these pitchers miss, they miss low. And that is murder on catchers. So now it's 1-2, and if she hits the ball to the right side, they're gonna move the runner up. Bounced away again. So she gets it the easy way. 2 bounce balls. Back in New York on the schoolyard, we used to have a game called overhand bounce pitch. When you play with a small knee and you bounce it to the plate and try to hit it on the back. And that's what we've seen here. Ahead 2 strikes on the bunt. This one is over the head of the catcher but not able to score. So after being ahead 0-2, it is now 3-2. And again, we see a situation where some of these pitchers just try to overthrow. Where control does not become a factor. And you know, if you put Lindsay D'Ambrosio on, she slacks at that one, they're gonna get a run, and they'll get the, but it'll be they'll trade that any day. So the 2 wild pitches leading to a run, and right just as quickly, they answer the run that Hawthorne scored in the bottom of the inning. So it's a 3-run ball game again. You almost consider that a sacrifice, but she swung away. So 1 out. Andrea Calise coming in to score. 4-1 now in favor of Mary Starr. And a situation where if it's not for those wild pitches, you've got a different setup. That's grounded to short. Carrillo makes the throw, and it's 2 outs. So Sonia Carrillo retiring Melissa Matera. Matera had been 1 for 1 with a sacrifice before that out. Now Leslie Higgins, the batter. Higgins is 0 for 2. She reached on a fielder's choice, but that fielder's choice was a big one. Hit it to third. Edna Cisneros, who was playing third at the time, tried to catch the lead runner, threw the ball into the outfield. 2 runs scored. Leslie Higgins came all the way around to score. So far, that's the big play of the ball game, as it's 4-1. Top of the 5th. That's hit a long way, and she may touch them all this time the easy way. All the way back to the fence. Higgins around second. She's around third. They are waving her all the way, and she can walk in. That was a well-hit smack over the head of the left fielder, Estella Diaz. And a big home run and another run batted in here. And it is a 4-run bulge, 5-1 in favor of Mary Starr. No doubt about that one. She tagged Sarah Acevedo there. Nothing you could say. 2 runs in. Francesco D'Amato, the batter. She's 0 for 2 on the day. Popped to the pitcher, grounded back to the pitcher. And the host team, Hawthorne, is going to need a little bit of a comeback in a little bit of time, because keep in mind, we are playing under time restrictions. As it swung and missed, the time restrictions are 1 hour and 40 minutes. I don't think we're approaching that yet. We're in the top of the 5th. So with luck, they may get a chance to play all 7 innings. But even at that, their chances are running out. 1 ball and 1 strike. 5-1. It was 3-1 coming into the inning. 2 wild pitches figuring in the first run being scored, but nothing much you could do with that last one. That was tagged. You might say, oh, why don't you play her a little deeper, but might not have helped. You'd had to play very deep on that last one. And it's in there for a call, strike 3. So from the agony, 2 runs given up in the inning on 1 big hit. Nobody left in the middle of the fifth. Mary Star Stars on their way to the championship round, it would appear. The Hawthorne Cougars 5-1. Back with the bottom in a moment. Well, we're going to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's 5-1. Hawthorne Cougars are trailing against Mary Star. It'll be 2, 3, and 4. Sonia Carrillo, Sarah Acevedo, Etna Cisneros scheduled up, and I'm joined in the booth by none other than His Honor the Mayor, Larry Guidi. And we saw you over in the dugout. You were talking to the Hawthorne Cougars in between innings. What'd you tell them?
Well, I just told them take their time, concentrate, have a little patience. Sometimes the girls get into a state of mind that they just lose control.
And this is a big tournament out here, the Mayor's Invitational Tournament. We saw you last week where you brought the teams out, you introed them, and how important would it be actually for the host team, Hawthorne, to actually win this thing here in their hometown?
Well, it's always important for the host team to win, but the point of this whole league is to bring a bunch of young ladies together to put together their talents and let them show what they have. Of course, it's nice to have a trophy again. It's the Mayor's Trophy. We have through the football teams the Mayor's Cup, and last year, unfortunately, I had to give it to Harold Hoffman.
And that losing a Hawthorne thing does get intense.
Yep. It's one of those things that you don't want to lose it, but you don't be petty over it because it makes you work harder for the next year, and it pumps up the encouragement, the adrenaline of any of these young athletes to want to be better for the next year.
Sarah Acevedo's at the bat, rounds it back to the box. Nice play made by Ruiz. And since she's come in the ball game, she's really kind of settled things down. Had a good 2 innings in their second inning of work coming in for Tiffany Gutierrez. And you have a team here, Mary Star, obviously they're well coached. They're 5-1. They come from down in San Pedro, and you kind of knew they were going to be tough coming in. They weren't going to be a pushover.
Yeah, I watched them play last weekend, and I was very impressed because I knew this would probably be the team that would challenge us to the most. And with any tournament, it can change. We swept, Hawthorne swept last weekend. This weekend, they're starting off a little slow, but it's only the 5th inning, and I'm sure that they're going to come back, and they just need to wake up.
How involved has QB Vasquez been with you in terms of getting things together and getting this coordinated?
Well, let me tell you, if it wasn't for QB, I'm afraid there would be no softball, any kind of softball in the Hawthorne High School. He's a man that dedicates all his time. He spends all his time with the kids. He's close. He's like a big brother, a dad. He's a real good coach. It's what these young ladies need because, as you see, QB put this tournament together with a shoestring. And if you look out here today, it is just amazing to see the amount of parents and the participation and just the coverage that you guys gave this the last weekend. I was up at Holly Park Little League opening just a few minutes ago, and everybody was saying, boy, we watched some really tough softball tournament here in Hawthorne. So the people are watching cable. It's important for the cable to understand that Hawthorne supports cable and wants them to continue because you're showing off not only the youth of our area, but the youth of other areas.
Yes, and I think it's good that you can get this many teams, as you said, from the LA City section and all around. Well, Your Honor, we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Hawthorne went down 1-3 in that inning, and one way or another, we're going to see you presenting trophies to someone. And thanks for stopping by with us at the end of 5 innings. It is Mary Star 5, Hawthorne 1. We'll be back with the top of the inning in a moment.
Thank you.
Well, with 2 innings to go in a ball game that looks like we will get all the way in, one way or another, all 7 innings. It's Mary Star on the plus side, 5-1, and they'll send a batters 5, 6, and 7 to face Sarah Acevedo. Keep in mind, the next ball game you'll see will be losing her Olympians. And that one is smoked down the line. It's foul. Getting around hard, Danielle Whitney that time. Next ball game you'll see will be losing her Olympians taking on Redondo. And that'll be for 5th place. Winner here will play the winner of Torrance, North Torrance, and Notre Dame, and the loser will take on the loser of that ball game for 3rd place. And it's in there for a call strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Sarah Acevedo's been in all the way. Give it up 5 runs, and they have been, a couple of them were tough. 2 of 5 were definitely unearned. Swung on and missed. So after giving up An almost long extra base hit down the line. She comes back to strike out Danielle Whitney. Danielle Whitney now 0 for 2. And now here's Anna Park. Anna Park 0 for 2. She struck out twice. At this rate, if we do get all of the game in, Hawthorne will have 2 more chances at the plate, 6 more outs. And they're trailing by 4. But they will get a chance to get their licks in. Anna Park, left-handed DH. It's off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. They play her in close. At third, deep in the outfield. They think if she does get around, she will pull it. And it's at the knees for a call strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Eucalyptus Park. And tries to put it in the same area, but just misses. 3 balls and 1 strike. Sarah Acevedo's had 3 strikeouts on the afternoon. We mentioned Anna Park represents 2 of them. 3 balls and 2 strikes as she swings through it. There's a good crowd this afternoon, as the mayor mentioned the last half inning. And it's in there for a call, strike 3. Caught looking again, ball dropped. They'll have to play it to first, so it becomes a K2-3. And for the 3rd time on the afternoon, Anna Park looking befuddled at the plate. So 2 away, 4th strikeout for Sarah Acevedo. Megan Gelamo will step into the dish. She's 1 for 2. She had a base hit and popped to short. And it's a line drive into the glove of Sonia Carrillo at short. And the side is retired. So they go in order in the 6th. Middle of the 6th inning. Mary Star Stars 5. Hawthorne Cougars 1. Back with the bottom of the inning in a moment. Now, bottom of the 6th inning. Things getting late. 6 more outs for the Hawthorne Cougars. Gabby Barajas, Estella Diaz, Laquisha Moore will be up. Denise Ruiz in her 3rd inning of work since she came in. She surrendered a walk that belonged to Tiffany Gutierrez. She inherited a 2-0 count, but since then she's retired 6 in a row. Ground ball. It's going to be a tough play. They'll have to hurry, and they get her. So nice play on the slow roller, Francesco D'Amato with throw, and this one away. When she did come in, Tiffany Gutierrez was getting tired. But if the ball game stands the way it is, Tiffany Gutierrez would get the win. She'd be 4-0, or actually 3-0 on the year if she does. Estella Diaz at the plate. She's 0 for 2 in the ball game. No balls and 1 strike. Since that walk, and we said she inherited a 2-0 count, she is now retired 7 in a row, and she's had some big play on the infield by Lindsay D'Ambrosio. That's grounded to the shortstop. Andrea Calise makes it look easy, and there's 2 away. So Denise Ruiz has had the support behind her in the infield. That 1 run that Hawthorne did score was a tough one. Had to score it on a ground out on a throw made over to first base when they sent Laquisha Moore in, who's a batter at the plate right now, and it was a closer play at the plate than expected. Laquisha Moore 2 times at bat, walked twice, stolen 3 bases. Tries to chop at that one and fouls it off. And she, of course, has scored the only run. Now, if Hawthorne loses this ball game, they will have to play for 2nd place at another field. Mary Star would stay here at this park and Eucalyptus Field, and they'd play either Notre Dame or North Torrance. Count is 1-1 to Laquisha Moore. Bounces low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Hawthorne Cougars have yet to lose this year. 4-0 on the young season, 2-0 in the tournament. And she swings and misses. Good pitch there by Denise Ruiz. And again, something we notice about Denise Ruiz, Similar to Tiffany Gutierrez, she is not trying to overthrow. She seems to be more concerned with finding the strike zone. She's letting her fielders do the work. And that one is into right field. That's going to fall, and it's a base hit. So there, a good piece of hitting by Lucretia Moore, especially with 2 strikes. Good piece of hitting on 2 strikes. And we mentioned the fact that, you know, the reason why Denise Ruiz has been successful is she is letting her fielders do the work, and they're doing it. That time, not trying to overpower Lucretia Moore, and Lucretia Moore took advantage of it. Hits it the opposite way. Here's Carolyn Brown, who's had a tough afternoon. She struck out and fouled out to first base. 0 for 2. And Hawthorne Cougars would like a 2-out rally. That's low for a ball, 1-0. Trailing 5-1. You have to be careful at first base with Lucretia Moore. You know, she does have speed. She's stolen 3 in this ball game. But catcher Ali Ursini for Mary Starr shows that she's game behind the plate. Runner goes. It's hit to left field. That's going to be hit over the head of the left fielder, and they may touch them all. Lucretia Moore will score. Carolyn Brown is rounding second on her way to third. They're going to wave her in. We're going to have a play at the plate. She's caught between second and third, running her back to third. They've got her in a rundown, and she's out of the baseline anyway, and they're going to tag her out. Well, she'll get a triple and a run batted in, but they catch her in the rundown. So a decision to send the runner in from third. It does not pan out. It retires the side. But when all is said and done, Hawthorne will get 1 run on 2 hits. And at the end of 6, it is a 5-2 ball game. Mary Starr ahead. We'll be back with the 7th in a moment. Well, we've seen some bang-bang plays in this ball game. As right here, Jessica Mendez is the pinch hitter. She's batting for Ali Ursini. We're in the top of the 7th. It's 5-2 in favor of Mary Starr. Sarah Acevedo on the mound. And the pinch hitter for Ali Ursini. Ursini 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly. And this is Mendez's first plate appearance. Figure she'll probably come in to catch in the bottom of the inning. 1-1. That's a little one-hopper to short. Acevedo will have to make the long one, and in time. Strong throw by Sarah Acevedo to get Jessica Mendez. And there's one away. Well, in the bottom of the inning, Carolyn Brown, who had not been having a good play at the plate, tagged one and hit it over the left fielder's head, Melissa Matera. They ran it down. They set up the relay. Obviously, you could see Lucretia Moore was going to score. She could walk home. Carolyn Brown, not fleetest of foot. Coach QB Vasquez elects to send her. That's smacked down the line. It's a foul ball. It's Andrea Calise. Lines went hard. They elected to send her around, and the throw was in time. She held up rather than try to do a little collision at the plate. That's toward right field. Nice stop made, and from her knees, Gabby Barajas throws her out. So Barajas throws out Andrea Calise. 2 away. She got caught in that rundown, and we have it officially as 7-2-5 and a tag out. She was out of the, would have been called out of the baseline anyway. Lindsay D'Ambrosio back to the top of the order, slacks one. A dice diving play, and here's a throw, and they got her. A good defensive inning for the Hawthorne Cougars. They go in order, and Hawthorne will have their last licks when we go to the bottom of the 7th. Hawthorne will be trailing Mary Starr 5-2. Back with the bottom in a moment. 3 last chances for the Hawthorne Cougars, trailing 5-2. In their host tournament, they'll have 9-1-2. Jamie Zalata, Martha Molina, and Sonia Carrillo to face Denise Ruiz, who has been serving strikes, although she did get touched for 1 run in that last inning. That's popped up behind the plate and off the backstop. 5-2. Hawthorne Cougars have not lost a game this year in a very long season, which is very early. This is their host tournament. They need 3 to tie if they want to stay with a shot for the championship. If not, they will be playing for 3rd. Ruiz is ahead, 0-1. And it's a ground ball. It's going to go through the hole for a base hit. for Jamie Zalata with a leadoff single here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And they will go to the top of the order. Be a pinch runner coming in first for Hawthorne. Pinch runner for Jamie Zalata for the Hawthorne Cougars. Gabby Barajas will run. It's a courtesy run, actually more of a courtesy runner as opposed to a pinch runner. Pinch runner would mean that the actual runner would be out of the ball game, but this is a courtesy runner situation because, of course, Gabby Barajas is at second base. So Martha Molina come into the ball game to replace Chanel Kidd. He's been up twice, 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. And she's been playing at third base since relieving Chanel Kidd. Nobody out, runner on. And for Mary Starr, their concern is the on-deck circle because that's where the tying run is. And it's strike one. Denise Ruiz gets the first one over. Well, we told you number 7 was a pinch runner, Gabby Barajas. That's actually not true. There are 2 number 7s on the Hawthorne roster. That I had forgotten that fact. That's a grounder, foul, just outside third. So we'll get that checked out, as I remember Coach Vasquez did tell me that they're carrying 2 ladies with the number 7 jersey. So we'll find out who the other number 7 is. But right now, the batter at the plate is an 0-2 count. As it bounces away, base runner's going to move up. Move up 45 feet. That'll be a pass ball. Failure to block the plate. Runner on second. Nobody out. For Mary Starr again, what matters is in the on-deck circle. Runner at second does not mean too much. It's 1 and 2, and it's way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've seen the Hawthorne Cougars softball team in games we did last year come from behind. That's nothing new for them. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Denise Ruiz getting set to deliver, and it's foul tipped. Molina stays alive. So Molina getting a piece. Hawthorne trying to rally, down by 3. Bottom of the 7th inning. That hour and 40-minute rule, if you have to wonder, I guess, if the ball game is tied and they have to go into extra innings. You have to kind of wonder what happens there. The tournament sort of format. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Martha Molina. Denise Ruiz patiently looks in. The 2-2, rounded to third, and it's going to be on by. It'll be over the shoulder of the third baseman, Lindsay D'Ambrosio. Lindsay D'Ambrosio has been sharp all afternoon, but she misplayed that one there. Bad hop over the shoulder. It's going to be an E5, and on the E5, batter goes down to second. Martha Molina gets to second. So Hawthorne in business with nobody out. Runners on second and third. Fortunes can change on the bounce of a ball. Lindsay D'Ambrosio had been spectacular at third all game. She made some big plays there at the hot corner. Not able to come up with that one. If she comes up with it, she's only going to go for the out at first. But now, they're second and third. Nobody out. Sonia Carrillo 0 for 2 with a walk. And again, she now represents the tying run. That's low for a ball. Ali Orsini behind the plate. They put in a courtesy runner for her in the top of the inning, but she's back behind the dish. Good defensive catcher. Nobody warming for Mary Starr. 2 balls and no strikes. Now, loading the bases may not be the worst thing in the world for Mary Starr. And as quickly as we said, nobody was warming up. They do send 2 people down the right field line to warm up, and they'll meet at the mound. I started to say loading the bases for Mary Starr may not be the worst thing in the world because you would then put a force on at any base. Right now, as it stands, unless it's hit as a shot to somebody and they have a legitimate shot at the plate. Any ball hit on the infield, they're going to go to first. Want to keep that tying run off the bases. And that's the key right here. 2 balls and no strikes. Infield is up on the left side. And that catches the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Rob Fusco doing the balls and strikes behind the plate, and Jason Howard in the field. Will the umpires figure in today's game? They haven't so far. And no controversial plays. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners on second and third. And it swung on and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. All a little bit around the eyes. The other batter, Sarah Acevedo, would be coming up, and also possibly Etna Cisneros and Gabby Barajas. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sonia Carrillo. 2-2. It's a slow roller. They'll have to go to first, and they will. It's a high throw, and she's safe, and a run will score. The runner is safe. She slid in. It was not the best of throws, and you'd have to say, well, I've got somebody, you give her a hit there, or what do you call it, bad throw? Guy on my right. Give her a base hit. North Torrance says give her a base hit. One of the North Torrance coaches. So base hit and an RBI. It's a 5-3 ball game. Runners now at first and third. Sonia Carrillo on at first. Martha Molina at third, and the batter is Sarah Acevedo. She represents the winning run. Nobody out. We'll have to watch now Martha Molina down at first base. Rather, Sonia Carrillo. She doesn't go. First and third. Martha Molina at third. She reached on the error. Sonia Carrillo at first on the infield hit. 5-3 in favor of Mary Starr. Still nobody out. Mary Starr would love a double play. They're set up for it. Middle infielders. Acevedo watches one. That's low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Tying run on at third. Winning run at the plate. And if she would have hit one out, this place would explode. I have the mayor to my left who would go crazy if that happened. Here's a 2-0 delivery. Way high. 3 balls and no strikes. So Denise Ruiz is in danger of putting the tying run down at second base and putting the winning run on. Sarah Acevedo got her sign. Some QB Vasquez at third. If it looks good to her, she will motor. 3 balls and no strikes. And it's good, but no swing, 3-1. Now you could do the same on 3-1 if you see something you like. Mary Starr infield set up for 2. 5-3 in favor of Mary Starr. First to third for Hawthorne, nobody out. 3-1 to the best hitter on their team, Sarah Acevedo. That's why they call her the ace. Ruiz with the 3-1. It's fouled off. Tough pitching, tough hitting. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mary Starr has proved that they have good catching and good arm behind the plate in Ali Orsini. Do you take a chance with Sonia Carrillo at first? She represents that tying run. 3-2, nobody out. First and third. Can't get any better. Home team trying to rally. Here's the payoff. Runner doesn't go, it's grounded to third. They're gonna go across and get the out. Now here comes the runner coming to the plate. They may have her. She's safe. She got under the tag. She got under the tag. Now the runner heading for third, and she's gonna score the tying run. She's gonna score the tying run. She's gonna score the tying run. Tied up. Ball game is tied. How about that? The out goes 5-3. It's a run batted in. But Martha Molina scored. And behind her, when the ball is thrown away, it would have to be an E2 that allows Sonia Carrillo to score to tie it up. The game is tied up. Nobody on. 1 out for Etna Cisneros. What a weird way to tie the game up. First one is off the plate for ball. It's actually in there for a call strike. Well, Lindsay D'Ambrosio didn't think she had the play at second. Probably figured get the sure out, which he did. Coach QB Vasquez held the runner. It was a close play at the plate. As that's grounded back toward short, it'll be handled by Calise. And a close play at first, but there's 2 away. I believe there's only 2 outs. Mary Starr thinks it's 3 outs, but there's only 2. Now, Coach QB Vasquez told me during the week that Mary Starr at some point in the ball game was going to try to pull a trick where they walk off the field knowing that there's 2 outs, trying to get a Hawthorne base runner off, but obviously not going to work here with nobody on base. They've got to retire Gabby Barajas. What a wild bottom of the inning. Bad throw by the catcher, allowing the ball to get away at third and the tying run to score. But there are now 2 outs and nobody on. And Gabby Barajas is the batter as she watches in there for a call strike 1. So you'd have to give credit to Denise Ruiz if, having seen the game tied, she's able to settle down and come back and retire the next 2 batters. Barajas and no 1 hole. She swings at a high pitch and fouls it off. Gabby Barajas 1 for 2 at a base hit and a walk on the day. And she, of course, represents the winning run. This game may have some extra legs to it. Now, of course, we are approaching that 1 hour, 40-minute limit, but it basically becomes sudden death anyway. To Gabby Barajas. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This inning started with a base hit by Jamie Zalata. She went to second on a pass ball. Martha Molina hit a ball to third, and it went over the shoulder of Lindsay D'Ambrosio, who had been sharp all day. Sonia Carrillo got a base hit to drive in a run. And the play by Sarah Acevedo, a ground out, where 2 runs come in to score. Grounded at the third, D'Ambrosio got the out at first. They sent Martha Molina in to score. She beat the play at the plate, just slid in under the tag. And then the throw by the catcher, Ali Ursini, to third to try to get Sonia Carrillo. That went awry, and Carrillo came in to score to tie it. Since then, we've had 1 out. Edna Cisneros, Gabby Barajas has a count 2 and 2. And here's Ruiz with a pitch. That's popped in the infield, should retire the side. And it does. So, they finally retire the side, but not before the Hawthorne Cougars tie it up on 3 runs. Only 1 hit in the inning, 2 big errors, and nobody left. At the end of regulation, this game is tied 5-5. We go to extras right after this. Well, we're going to the 8th inning, and you can throw out that hour 40-minute rule because we're now in extra innings, and that means it's just like a regular extra inning ball game. Whoever's ahead at the end of an inning, that is it. But the good news for Hawthorne would mean that they do basically get their last licks, as Melissa Matera will lead off the 8th inning. Okay, we're playing under national tiebreaker rules, I'm told, which is going to mean that Mary Starr will get the lead, and they're going to have a runner at third. Now, this is something new here. We're going to ask the gentleman to my right to explain this to us. Okay, explain the national, how's the national tiebreaker rule work? Okay. All right, so in that case, that means the runner is at second base. Lindsay D'Ambrosio, she made the last out in the inning. You saw Melissa Matera with a grounder there, and the error made, so the run comes in. So that, under rules that I've never heard of before, but they apply. Mary Starr takes the lead, but that means that obviously in the bottom of the inning, Hawthorne will have the same opportunity. So it'll be a base hit and an error on the throw. And Leslie Higgins is the batter. So again, let's recap this for you. Lindsay D'Ambrosio made the last out in the 7th inning. She gets to start on second. Lindsay Matera was the batter, had the infield hit, but the ball thrown away. And that allowed the run to score easily. Now she's on third with nobody out, and Leslie Higgins at the plate. We had to understand that one. Back to the box, look the runner back. Now she's going to try to score, and she's in there as the ball is dropped at the plate. So it'll be a ground out and an RBI. 2 runs in. as that play goes 1-3. One out and 2 runs in. Base is empty. It is now 7-5. You learn something new every day. Francesca D'Amato at the plate. She's 0 for 3. Got caught looking her last time up. The runner that made the last out in the last inning leads off. I think they're doing that probably because we're in a tournament. If this were a regular season game, that probably would not be the case. I'm not sure, but we'll see. That's a little soft one that's caught on a nice play by first baseman Carolyn Brown. A nice catch made there at first base. Falling down after the catch. Well, you know, when you play in your company league where you have 3 extra hitters and 10 outfielders, and you can go in and hit the last strike for somebody, you have all kinds of rules, but I didn't know they were playing under these kind of rules. Again, it's a learning experience for all of us. Now, some of you out there who are rooting for Hawthorne may be saying, oh, that's unfair. It may seem that way, but that's the rules, and that would mean that Hawthorne would get the same opportunity in the bottom of the inning. And they would have to at least tie to keep it alive. No balls and 2 strikes on Danielle Whitney, the batter. She's 0 for 2, struck out her last time up. Hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored. 7-5 in favor of Mary Starr. We're in the top of the 8th. That'll be a chopper to third. It's in foul territory. Long game. And we've still got 2 more to go. Good crowd this afternoon. Winner goes to the championship round. Loser to the 3rd place game. Championship round will be played here. And by the looks of it, I think it's going to be North Torrance in the championship. Yes, it is. That's what it is. North Torrance won their game against Notre Dame. That's swung on, foul tipped and dropped. They'll have to complete the play, and they do. And the side is retired. So it goes strikeout 2-3. But in the inning, Mary Starr able to break across 2 big runs. And now we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Hawthorne Cougars trailing 7-5, needing 2 to tie and keep it alive. And we'll come back with the bottom of that 8th right after this. Well, we're going now to the bottom of the 8th inning, and if we get a shot at second base under this rule, this peculiar rule, Hawthorne's last out in the 7th inning will start at second, the way it did for Mary Starr, which means Gabby Barajas will be at second, and Estella Diaz will be at the plate. But more importantly, it's that on-deck circle. Well, actually, the tying run is at the plate at this point, and the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Denise Ruiz has been in since the 4th inning when she came on the relief of Tiffany Gutierrez. Hawthorne tied it up in a strange fashion in that 7th inning. Mary Starr went ahead with that, getting that lead runner on second, and Hawthorne trying to do the same. It's hit to the hole. Throw to first. Now the runner will cross over to third. They're not even going to bother to throw, which is a smart play, and Estella Diaz is retired. The smart play right there is they know it's a waste to throw and the ball goes away. That runner at third means nothing. It is at the dish that is important, and LaQuisha Moore will be the batter. LaQuisha Moore is 1 for 1. She scored twice, had 2 walks, 3 stolen bases. And she looks at strike 1. 7-5 in favor of Mary Starr. Again, starting off with the lead runner at second base. Worked for Mary Starr in the bottom of the inning. And of course, an error by Sarah Acevedo didn't help. Able to get 2 runs across in the top of the inning. Now Hawthorne trying to respond to keep it alive. And that's a line drive into center field. It will be caught. Runner tagged. She's coming to the plate. They'll let it go through, and she's going to score. So it'll be a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. It's a 1-run ball game, but Mary Starr will take it because the bases are empty. And I'm almost surprised that they I guess letting it go through was no big deal in that situation. They may even try to appeal at third base, I don't know, to see if the runner left too soon, but as it stands now, Barajas is able to score, and it's going to be up to Carolyn Brown. It's now 7-6, 2 outs. Mary Starr 1 out away from advancing to play North Torrance, who won their ball game. And it's in there for a call strike. key thing here is having no base runners for the Hawthorne Cougars. As Mary Starr played it smartly, not throwing the ball around in the infield. You get people on base, it makes it tougher. 7-6. And that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the afternoon, Carolyn Brown 1 for 3 with a big triple and an RBI and was thrown out. Caught in a rundown between third and home, was sent in. A little slow on the bases, and they tried to send her in to score, and she was caught in a rundown, and that right now is a big play in this ball game. 2 balls and 1 strike to Carolyn Brown. Janice Ruiz would now stand to be the winner. She went from save opportunity to being possibly a GOAT, and now a chance to win. If she can get 1 more out, which can sometimes be elusive. 3 balls and 1 strike. Behind Carolyn Brown would be Jamie Zalata. Carolyn Brown has shown that she can hit with a little power. It is her running, I guess, that is in question. 3 balls and 1 strike. She'd like to get on here. Represent the tying run. And it hits her. Hit by the pitch. And that smarts. That hurts a little bit. That stung her. But she represents a tying run. And Jamie Zalata represents the potential winning run. So can the Hawthorne Cougars do it with 2 outs? Does Coach QB Vasquez think about a possible base running change? But we know Espinoza is going to a pitching change. Denise Ruiz is out, and we'll have a new pitcher in. New pitcher for Mary Starr, third on the afternoon. Brianna Hernandez will be coming in. Now this is interesting. Brianna Hernandez is the ace of their staff. She is their ace. She's 3-1 this year. And you know they didn't want to use her. Did not want to have to use her in the ball game. But they are forced to, trying to get that last out. Now, the thing about Brianna Hernandez, she is one of those pitchers that tries to rely on the smoke and can sometimes get wild. And that's one of the last things that you want to do here in this situation, is to get wild when all you need is 1 out. So a tough situation all around. We'll have a pinch runner at first base, number 33 for the Hawthorne Cougars. Is pinch running. Running for Carolyn Brown. And Jamie Zalata is the batter with 2 outs. So Brianna Hernandez trying to close it out. She would get a save if she can do it. She needs 1 out. Hawthorne needs 1 to tie. And that first pitch is up high for ball 1. She has speed, but again, with a lot of these pitchers that throw at speed, sometimes it is the control that is the problem. Jamie Zalata is 1 for 3, had a base hit and an RBI and scored a run in that wild 7th inning. And it's up high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. If she gets on, Martha Molina is the next batter. Tying run at first. Winning run at the plate. And I believe that's Brandy Respido is that runner that's in there for a call strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jamie Zalata making her throw once, get 1 strike over. North Torrance waiting for the winner. And it's in there for a call, strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 7-6 Mary Starr. 1 strike away from advancing to the championship game. Speedo the runner on at second. 2-2 pitch. Popped up. It's in foul territory. Just hits the chalk. Hits the chalk. Close. If that ball is fair, they have a runner at third. With 2 outs. It's probably first and third if it's fair. Just outside the chalk. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs. Jamie Zalata back to the dish. Randy Respido will take the lead off of first. 2-2, popped up off the backstop. So Jamie Zalata staying alive on some tough pitches. Manages to foul it off. Losing her in Redondo upcoming. and North Torrance in the championship game. It's grounded into the glove and caught, and they will play Mary Star. So your championship game is set. North Torrance against Mary Star. They will play for the Mayor's Trophy here in Hawthorne, and the Hawthorne Cougars will have to settle for the consolation game against Notre Dame. Well, a tough last couple of innings for both teams, but right into the glove of Lindsay D'Ambrosio, and perhaps just appropriate because she was, for the most part, a vacuum cleaner at third base this afternoon, and she ends the ball game on the hardline drive. So the host team will not take home the championship trophy this year. Best they can get is third place, and they would have to win that down in another field. And the final score in this ball game, as a matter of fact, will tell you what field they would have to go to. They would be playing at their own high school field. So they would actually go to their own varsity field at Hawthorne, and they'll be playing against Notre Dame, but Mary Star will play against North Torrance for the championship. So that's your final score in the 8th inning, 1 run for Hawthorne on no hits. That rule of putting the runner at second base, I guess you do that in tournament play or something, and it helps Mary Star. It did not ultimately help Hawthorne in this ball game as they lose by 1 run. They've lost their first game on the year. Well, you'll see Hawthorne again next week once they play Lusinger. We'll have a doubleheader for you next Saturday, but they'll be in the third place game now as the final score in this one, Mary Star Stars 7, Hawthorne Cougars 6, and we're going to come back with the game for 5th place between the Lusinger Olympians and Redondo right after this break.